Good. I think I'm live here with you ladies. This new interface that Facebook has to go live is so weird. Okay, what do I do now so I can see your comments and everything? What do I do now? Okay, I think I got this. So everybody on the replay, do let me know how you're doing in the comments. I look forward to everybody who's going to join me here live, so I'm going to wait for a moment. And let's see if I can invite some people as well. Oh dear, they have made things rather complicated here. But never mind. I really look forward to talking to you today about how we can use this crisis that we are in at the moment as a chance to find the clarity and the confidence that we need to really take our life to the next level of fulfillment and of service by really either finding our calling or really fully stepping into our calling. Good, I can't see any comments yet. I can't see if anybody is live. It's rather unnerving, I have to admit. Before we get started, let me see if I can pull this up here, just to check if this is working. Yeah, good. It seems to be working. Good. Great. So let's get started. Now, the world as we know it is crumbling all around us at the moment, and I know that chaos is scary. It awakens deep fears about how we're going to live from now on, and it's just easy for our imagination to go to the worst places. But what I really want to talk about today is that chaos is a chance. I mean, if you think about it, everything is born out of chaos. I came up with this beautiful analogy. Like, think about the messiness of a birth. Like all the blood and the sweat and the tears and the pain. And in the midst of all of it, there's this brand new life. So what is happening in the world right now is exactly that. It's a birth. And it's a messy one, yes. But it is a birth. And while we should have compassion for all the pain that is absolutely real, we must focus on, what is trying to be born here and assist it in any way that we can. Let me see if there's any comments so far. Please do say hi as you come online. Let me know that you're here. I hope this is all working technically. I feel like every week now that I come online here, this is working differently with this new interface. And I'm sure I'll get it in time. So I see our individual role in all of this is to really breathe deeply with everything that is happening, to give this transformation space. I mean, if we give in to our worst fears and if we act from fear, then we are creating just that, a world with more fear, and then we all have to share in what everyone else thinks and feels. So if you are striving right now, if these are tough times for you, then I really invite you to give yourself a break from whatever fear has its grip on you, whatever negative patterns that you're caught in. I know that for most of us, as we go into isolation and we really fall back on ourselves, this is what happens first. But the way you can really give yourself that space and give us collectively the space for this transformation to happen is to take a step back and really have a look at your life. I mean, have you suffered in the past? Yes, you have. Have you survived? Yes, you have. And have you also been given so much love to cherish, so much goodness to experience? Yes, you have. So let's focus on that. Today is the last day of the full moon, so it's really the perfect time to let go of whatever doesn't serve you and cultivate gratitude for everything you have that does serve you. And even your fears have served you so far. Thank them from your heart for trying to keep you safe, and then turn over a new leaf and step into faith. The faith that this is a chance for all of us, and focus on how you can contribute to that. And the best first step for you is to focus on feeling good and being positive. I did a live specifically about that, where I gave you 8 of my most amazing practices that you can use to nourish yourself, body, mind, heart, and soul, and anchor yourself in really positive vibes and send out love and light into the world from your overflow. If you haven't watched it yet, just gonna give you the link in the comments. Hi Martina, how are you doing today? So this is the live I did. It's in this group, but this is the YouTube link. Here we go, that's it. So this is, when you click on this video, you will also find the link to the practice set that I gave you. All the practices in it are 10 minutes long, and I really get messages every day from the many women who are using it, thanking me for this really easy way to feel good and step out of feeling helpless and actually contribute to the healing of this world. And you can also join us for the Positivity Challenge inside of my other women's circle, the private one off of Facebook, because it's a lot easier to do all of this together, and it's really uplifting. Many of us need a safe, positive space to come to these days. So join us for the challenge. It's still going on for another week. You'll also find the link. Everything is where I just, with the link I just gave you. And if you can't find anything, I'm always here. So just let me know. Now, these practices are not meant to make you ignore your fears and your stress and look away from the pain of the world. These practices help you to transcend all of that. As you become present with yourself, you can process your feelings. And as you do so, the thoughts that give birth to these feelings shift. And you start to focus on love and light. And that's when the pain of the world can transform into a new life for all of us on this beautiful planet of ours. So it's these practices that really have helped me to go from somebody who worried constantly, who always saw the end of the world in everything that happened, somebody who was stressed all the time, and got insanely angry at herself and the world, to who I am today. Somebody who turns every challenge into an opportunity, somebody who knows when it is time to grieve and rage and how to process these emotions quickly, and then come back to being the love, to being the light, to being the inspiration, and having unshakable faith in the fact that life is good, that people are good, and that we are all doing the best we can. Okay, let me just do one thing here. I need to light a new candle. Candle just went out, and my grandmother died last week. And ever since her death, I've been lighting a candle for her, even getting up at night to get a new candle going. And this is just a moment, so here we go. Good. I'm back. Okay, let me just check the comments for a second. Hi Chris, how are you doing? Hi Martina, you're saying, I really like this loving vibration ritual, raise your vibration. Yeah, it's beautiful. I really love hearing from all of the women that this makes you feel less helpless in all of this. Because there is a lot that we can do, and it all starts from inside. So get the practice kit if you haven't got it already. Now, as I was just saying, my grandmother died last week, and we had her funeral yesterday. And you know, during the ceremony, the song What a Wonderful World was played, interpreted by my mother, who was a singer and who died 20 years ago. And you know, this could have easily been the moment for me to fall into despair, to be shaken to the core with sadness and grief. And I know that it would have been like that a few years back, but it wasn't. When I heard my mother singing about how wonderful the world is, I looked outside of the window and I saw the sun shining and the wind rippling through the trees and, the birds flying in the sky. And I so felt it, I so felt that this is a wonderful world. And I smiled and my heart filled with so much love for my grandmother, for my mother, for my family sitting around with me. Though due to Corona, we had this physical distance, but they were still there, and living and breathing. And I felt just so much gratitude for every moment that we get to experience in this life. It's all so precious, and we tend to forget that. Now, I'm really grateful for the reminder and how my mother and grandmother live on through me, the care and the love that they have given me and that I bring to my mothering and to my work in the world. And, after yesterday, I'm really more determined than ever to give my best to the world and to shine my brightest. And this is really the invitation that I have for you today, that you do the same. I want you to feel good and do good and contribute to the healing of the world. And if you want this too, then listen up. The whole theme of this decade is purpose. I've talked about it last year already. It was just in the air. This is all about purpose. It's not by accident that many people are losing their jobs right now. I see people left, right, and center without a job, and while they are scared about the future, there's also a lot of relief all around about not having to do that work anymore that they've been doing forever, and that is just not who they are and does not make them happy. Now let me know in the comments if you know somebody or if that's the case for you right now. And I would guess that about 95% of all people in the world don't earn a living by expressing themselves, but just being who they are. But that's what we're all meant to do. And right now is really a chance to realize that and to do whatever we can to make it a reality for so many more of us. We are all unique. We all have precious gifts that no one else has, and can combine them with our skills, with our knowledge, with our awareness, with our essence to contribute to the world in a way that nobody else can. We all came here with the same mission, the same purpose, to love who we are and to share that love and light with others by expressing ourselves. And one of the most beautiful ways we can do that is through our calling. And I so believe that we are all meant to earn money by being who we are, serving others by doing what we love, doing what lifts us up, and watch how that light spreads to all those around us to brighten the world. Now, my grandmother did just that by using her skills to support my grandfather's business. And my mother did that by singing and modeling and being creative. And I'm really so lucky to have them as examples of how we can earn a living just by being who we are. But the sad truth is that most of us haven't found a calling yet, or much sadder still, don't know that they have a calling. Many of us, see work as just a means to get money. Now, let me know in the comments if this is you, or if this was you. I mean, I definitely know it was me, I used to work in a job for a long time for the Austrian Red Cross that was completely killing me. But I did it for years and years next to my studies because, I had this, that was my logic that what you work is just how you get money, and that's it. And it has nothing to do with how much you like it or not. And the crazy thing is, I just told you that I had that example of my mother and my grandmother, but my mother died when I was young. And the crazy thing is my dad does exactly his calling. He's a music producer. And an audio engineer, a musician. He does exactly what he loves, but he always complained so much about his work that I didn't even realize it was his calling, you know? So I really also grew up with that idea that you have to work hard to get money, and that, it has nothing to do with fulfillment. I didn't grow up with that idea that we all have a calling, but I am absolutely certain that it is that way. Let me know if in the comments if you can relate to that. Now, the first problem here is that most people, like me, grow up not being told that they are precious and unique. That was definitely not my everyday growing up. And I'm guessing it wasn't yours either. Let me know in the comments what that was like for you. Now, we all come into the world knowing who we are and why we came. And most of us quickly forget because those around us have forgotten who they are and why they came, and so they can't teach us how to stay anchored in our essence and in self-love. And that's why, all the work that I do with my clients starts with helping them to find back to themselves, to create self-awareness, because self-love comes from knowing who we are. Because when we connect back to who we are in our hearts, in our souls, that's when we realize that there's nothing that's not to love. All of the things that we think of as unlovable, they come from our minds and sometimes our bodies, but they are just repercussions of what's going on at a deeper level. So once we go back there and we give ourselves the love that we need in our hearts and soul, then that real presence, that soul presence of who we really are gets to shine through, and then our mind and our bodies become more and more beautiful too. It's just like magic. And all of us are so worthy of our own love. And the more we love ourselves, the more good we do in the world. And the practices that I gave you, access to, are all a way for you to create more self-awareness and grow your self-love. So again, if you haven't yet, get your practice kit by clicking the link that I gave you in the comments and share it with as many people as you know, because the only thing that our world truly needs is more people who love themselves. I mean, think about that for a moment. Can you see how that is the solution to all of the problems that we have individually and collectively? Before I talk about that, let me know in the comments if you can see why that is the solution to everything, more self-love. Martina, you're saying, I know this feeling, only working for money. Work with very little passion for that. Yeah, I so feel you. I mean, even in my job for the Red Cross, I had a lot of passion for the mission, but it was selling something that wasn't me, and it was for a good cause. So I did believe in the project, but at the same time, it was super exhausting, emotionally, mentally, physically, and it wasn't me. I was just expressing a little part of who I am. So coming back to self-love. Whenever we are anchored in love for ourselves, we cannot hurt anybody or anything else, because we are all connected, and hurting other people, hurting Mother Earth, the only way we can do it is if we are cut off from the love that we have for ourselves, because it is the doorway for the love of everyone and everything else. Now, when we collectively have found a way back to love, then we don't need a virus to come in and remind us of what's really important in life and how precious and delicate all of it is. And for us as individuals, I need hardly say that, for example, a mother who loves herself will have it a lot easier raising her child with love, shouldering that huge responsibility and doing so many things to ensure the physical, the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual well-being of a child. It's a lot easier when we have love for ourselves, because with that love comes patience with ourselves, compassion for ourselves, and with that comes the same for our children. And the same, of course, in a partnership. Now imagine all the families that would heal if each member of the family just had a little bit more love for themselves. I mean, we would stop projecting our wounds onto each other, and we could just be real with ourselves and with each other about our needs in the moment, and that is so healing. I had this scene yesterday with my partner. You know, we've just recently gotten back together, Lou's dad and I, and I just really had this issue about him not being present with my emotional needs. And, you know, and what I would do before is really that a lot of anger would kick in, you know. And then I would project that onto him. But of course, really the wounds were much older. They have nothing to do with this relationship. They came from my dad and the attention that I didn't get from him. So, you know, anger is not a primary emotion. It gets created when we can't process sadness and grief and be present with that. And so what I did yesterday was I was completely vulnerable with him, and I just, you know, cried, and I told him what I would really need from him. And it was so beautiful, so healing that, you know, when I was like that, he was able to listen and, you know, just hold me and let me cry. And then, you know, it just connected us so much as a couple. And, you know, that's what can happen when you find that way back to loving yourself, because it becomes a lot easier to be vulnerable when you do love yourself, because, you know, you allow yourself to be whatever you're like, and you allow other people to be whatever they're like. And from that basis, it gets a lot easier to communicate our needs. You know, that does not mean that we don't communicate our needs. On the contrary, we do. But from this space of no barriers. I hope you see what I mean. Let me know if you can relate to that. Hi, Candice. Nice to see you here. How are you doing? Chris, you're saying more self-love. Yes, absolutely. Exactly. That's it. Now, yeah, so the really interesting thing is what comes after self-awareness. When we've created that self-awareness, and that has led us to really stepping into a lot more self-love. Well, what comes next is stepping into our calling. When we know who we are and we have love for who we are, then we can't help but start to shine our light into the world through our unique gifts. And that's when we start to receive back appreciation, love, respect, and money. And money is an amazing gift. It's pure potential that we can turn into whatever we need and whatever is good for us. And that in turn will be good for everyone else. So we must stop believing that money is a necessary evil. Like, check in with yourself now. What do you really feel about money? It's so interesting because we hardly ever do that, but we interact with money all the time. So there is this core feeling that we have about it. And this is directly related to how much money you allow yourself to receive. Now, evil is only what some people do with money, but many others don't. You know, they use it for good. Money in itself is neither good nor evil. It's pure potential. So what I really invite you to is embrace more money into your life so that you can do more good, because money does give you a lot of power. And I know that the women in our circle here are all heartfelt women who will do a lot of good if they had more money. So I really invite you to do that. So if you have already found your calling in the world, do let me know in the comments. I want to know, what is your calling? Let me know about it. And if you have, then I really invite you to step up now and go big. I see so many entrepreneurs, so many people who already have a calling, who are retreating now. Don't do that. Don't do that. Be an example of love in action in the world. Show others that they can do what they love and earn well at the same time. Do all those things that you didn't dare before. You know, all it takes is courage, and more will find that courage in themselves to step up if you do. So please shine your brightest, sister. And if you haven't found your calling yet, do let me know in the comments if this is you. Then don't give in to fear-based thoughts like, I can't do it, believing that finding any random job is your best hope. Because I know it's not, and I know you can. I found my calling in the midst of being pregnant without a partner, moving back to Austria from India without a home to go back to, no job to pay the bills, and no savings to fall back on. I mean, if I have found my calling in those circumstances, you can find your calling in the midst of Corona. The world is really at a standstill right now, so please use this chance to go within. I mean, the only little fear that I have at the moment is that we will just forget and go back to our old routines from this. So please help this really be a chance. Help for all of this to really be a transformation. So, yeah, go within. That's really the only thing that you have to do to find your calling. Your calling is waiting for you. It has been calling you for a long time, but you have to start to listen. So you have to find a way to go within, and you have to create the silence to listen to your heart and the courage to act on what you find. Okay, so 3 steps. Find a way to go within. You know that I do that with shamanic journeying, which is what I teach as well. If you want to learn it, reach out to me. But if you already have a way to go within, use that. Second step, create the silence to really listen to what your heart is telling you. And the third thing is just really step into that courage and act. Act on what you find. Take aligned action. So let me know if either of these 2 is you. Okay, so you already have found your calling. Okay, so my invitation to you is step up, go big. Let me know if this is you, that I can help you know what the next big step is for you. If you haven't found your calling, let me know too, so I can help you here. Candice, you're saying, I'm not sure what my calling is. Okay, Candice, next step, do you have any idea of what it might be? Like, what's your feeling? What are you doing right now? What do you love about it? So start by thinking about it practically before we go deeper with this. Chris, you're saying my calling, spread optimism and love through my job, like text writing, lectures, living my life this way. Yes, like, inspiring by being a living, breathing example. That's definitely an amazing way to spread optimism and love. And I think you can get even more exact here. Spreading optimism and love through my job, like text writing and lectures. Yeah, I mean, I know that you're in the middle of a phase of getting more precise with all of this, but it really is a good place to start, that you know that you want to write and maybe also speak. That's a really good start. Yeah, so for all those of you who already know that you're being called to being a healer of some kind, I want you to accept my help to create the clarity, the confidence you need to step into your calling, so that you can serve many in a really powerful way by doing what you love and are good at, and earn really good money online from home. I know that so many want to learn how to do this at the moment, and I'm offering you the help to do that. And of course, you can also work in person once Corona is over. That's always an option. But it's actually a lot easier to build a fan base online and create work online than it is to do that locally. So I'm holding a free 5-day live event starting on Monday. I'm so excited about it already, where I will share an incredible amount of knowledge with you and give you that opportunity to go deep within, so that you can get crystal clear on your calling, cultivate the confidence that you need to step into your calling, and find out who you can best serve with your unique gifts, and also how. I have a hair in my mouth. Here it is. And fourth thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually show you how you can earn a great income from home in as little as 20 hours per week. Now that's what I do. And many of you look at me today and it looks so effortless. But trust me, it wasn't. The pathway here wasn't smooth at all. It took me 7 years of intensive searching and lots of trial and error to find my calling. I have had the most diverse collection of jobs you can imagine in my life. And in every one of them, I used another one of my talents, but never all of them. But even once I had found my calling, it took me 3 years to actually monetize it in any way that I could really be like, oh yeah, I'm earning my living, by being a healer. So I spent so much time, so much money, so much energy on learning all of the different parts that go into it, because it's not easy. Now I get to be all of me, and that's exactly what people pay me for. And that's just incredible. I can't even tell you how amazing that is. I get paid for my experiences, my thoughts, my feelings, my energy, my time, me. And my calling is to make this whole process a lot easier for you, because it doesn't have to be so complicated. Now, those 5 days I'm going to spend with you are going to be an exquisite combination of going super deep with soul-searching practices and rituals, like a shamanic journey, where I will guide you within to meet your higher self and get crystal clear on your calling. And super practical stuff, like step-by-step explanations that will help you to create your signature offering and learn how to sell it with soul. Because we need both in this world. To succeed, we need hands and heart. We need mind and soul. We need the practical and the spiritual. And I'm really good at combining them. That's what stopped me from being successful for such a long time, because I was either completely in the law of attraction, spiritual energy mode, or I was doing the opposite and just, working like crazy and just moving from one strategy to the next and never sticking with anything. So we need a really good combination of both. And we need to be grounded in our calling. We need to know exactly how we are supposed to help in this world, what our purpose is. Otherwise, it's all futile, because we came here with a specific person. We are a very specific piece of the puzzle. We need to find out what that is, because once we do, the universe has our backs. Okay? So join me through the link that I'm going to give you in the comments right now. This is where you can sign up. Here you go. Hi, Helen. How are you doing? Oh, let me check your comments. There's lots of them. Yeah, Chris, so you're saying you're a dietitian, you're a blogger, you're a trainer. Yeah, you're doing lots of things. What I would love to see is for all of that to come together for you in a way, if you see what I mean. Like for a long time for me, it was this way that I was many things too, and I needed to learn how to combine them. And once I did, that's when my business really took off. So I'm a healer, I'm a yoga teacher, I'm a business coach. Okay, and now what I do with my signature offering with the Shamanic Yoga Apprenticeship is it all comes together. So I really, I take my people from their own personal healing journey, where they go really deep, to teaching them how they can do the same for their clients, to actually showing them how they can create a healing business out of that will actually pay the bills. So now I'm using all of my skills to do that. Before that, I've been really deep into yoga for over 10 years now. So I always knew that was yoga came into it all. But I'm not teaching purely. I'm not purely a yoga teacher, right? I combine it with shamanism. I've created shamanic yoga. So that was the first bit. And then how does the business coaching come into all of that? Now I'm combining all three of them, and it's really, really powerful. And this is exactly why my business is always booked out, because I'm offering something to the world that nobody else does. And this is what I want for all of you too, to find out how do your different passions and talents and skills, and how does your soul essence combine to provide something unique to the world that no one else can offer to the world. And that's, I swear, when it will start to feel so amazing to do what you do, and people will just come to you, because like I said, nobody else is doing what you're doing, but a specific kind of person is going to need exactly that. I hope all of this is making sense. Chris, you're saying, as a dietitian, trainer, texter, I do these things since years, but now it's getting purposeful and helpful because there's even more experience. Yes, dear, I mean all of these together. Okay, well, that's amazing if these are coming together for you, because this is when it gets really powerful. When we find that combination, that is just insanely powerful, and it's really delightful. And, you know, you all know these kinds of things. Like, look on Facebook, so many businesses. Take one look and intuitively you'll know exactly this person is just offering what she thinks she can do and what she thinks people want. And it's just one business, like a million others, or literally like 10,000 others. And, you know, like, for example, like, I'm a virtual assistant. Well, so there's like, I don't know, 20,000 people who are doing the same thing. So what is it? I mean, what kind of business are you a virtual assistant? Like, tell me about that. Who do you love working with? You know, like, be specific about what it is that you're good at. You know, virtual assistant can mean everything, anything. Are you good at building websites? Are you doing social media for people? What is it that you're doing? This is so important that you master some things, you know, like you can't do everything well. Okay. It's really finding out what can you master of the skills and talents that you have. You don't have to use every talent in your business. You know, like, I'm a decent singer. I don't sing in my business because, you know, it's not part of my calling. I sing for pleasure. You see what I mean? Not everything comes into it. And, I mean, this is what I teach. So if you want to go deeper with this, if you're not sure what your calling is yet, let me know. I have a course called Find Your Calling. It's a 2-week course. It's part of my transformation. It's amazing. It goes really deep and very practical at the same time. But going back to the 5-day challenge that is coming up on Monday, this is what I really want to invite you to, okay? From purpose to confidence to soulful sales. This is really what it's going to be about. We're going to create a lot of clarity for you, a lot of confidence for you, and I'm going to show you how you can actually make money as a healer online, okay? So even if you're not sure yet that your calling is to be a healer, come to the challenge, because this will give you a ton of clarity about whether this is the path to go for you or not. So click the link to sign up, gave it to you in the comments, and then please start preparing with Out of the Mind into the Heart, the meditation that I have included for you that will prepare you for going deep within to get the clarity and the confidence that you need to step into your calling, okay? Because I'm gonna guide you on a powerful shamanic journey, but you're gonna, you know, for you to be able to receive that guidance from your higher self, you need to be prepared. You need to be a clear channel for spirit to speak through you, okay? So do prepare with that meditation I gave you. It's just like 9 minutes long. It really helps you to just clear your thoughts and flow out of your mind and into your heart, so that you become present with that inner part of you, which is so important to get any kind of real guidance. It can't come from the head, because our heads are beautiful. They're very useful for some things, but not about getting guidance from the heart or the soul. Good. Let me see if there's any questions from those who are live. If you're on the replay, you can of course also ask questions. I will get back to you there and then. Good. I hope this was inspiring. I hope that I could impress upon you that now is the time, sister. Now is the time. Thank you for honoring me with your beautiful presence. And I can't wait to see many of you right here again from Monday onwards for an incredible week together. So make sure you sign up, and I will see you there and then. Hi, JC. Yes, you are a bit late. I'm just about to finish, but that's all right. I've just invited you all to come to the challenge starting on Monday. I know you have been in the last challenge, so I invite you to come again and get even more clarity and confidence. The last time I ran this challenge, it was incredibly powerful for the few of you who were there live, but there was a problem with the recordings. So I know that many of you wanted to participate in that challenge and didn't get a chance. So this is your chance, so make sure you come. Can you send the link to the Find Your Calling program? Yes, I can, Candice. Give me a second here. So the program Find Your Calling is part of my monthly membership, part of the transformation. Because here's the truth, like there's lots of people who write books about finding your calling and you know, or do like send you a PDF about that. It's not work. It doesn't work like that. You have to go really deep within. Your calling is your soul's mission. So you have to access yourself on a soul level. Now, I teach this by learning shamanic journeying, which you can do with me inside of the transformation. I'm giving you the link here. And once you've gone through the first 10 weeks, or the first 8 weeks at least, then you know how shamanic journeying works. And then doing the program Find Your Calling makes a lot of sense, because that's when you will actually get the clarity that you need. That's when it actually will click and so many things will come together for you, okay? If it's just a mental exercise, you know, everybody could do it. Everybody would already know what their calling is. And that's not how it works, unfortunately. Here you go, Candice. That's the link. Very inspiring, you're saying, Chris. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to hear that. And JC, you're saying lucky for the replay. Yes, of course. Yeah, there's going to be replays of the challenge as well. But the replays of the challenge, I'm going to take them off after a few days after the challenge, because I want you to take action now. This challenge is not like any other that you're going to find here. I promise. This is going to be packed with so much information that I have gathered over the past 10 years. It's really like condensed, super powerful stuff. And I want you to take action. It's going to be really practical. There's going to be homework after each session, because I really want you to, after these 5 days, have all the clarity you need, all the confidence you need, and the step-by-step action plan to execute what I've been teaching you, okay? So for me to be able to powerfully help you, I need you to do this, because I know what this is like. Because I said, yeah, I'm going to do it later. And then you save that video somewhere and you're never going to do it. So I want to help you take action. Okay, so I'm going to take down the replays after a few days after the challenge. So make sure that if you can't be there live, because like Jacine, who's in the other side of the world, that's fine, but do it the next day, okay? You're welcome, Candice. Good. Thank you all, beauties, for being here with me. I look forward to all of your comments, also from those who are on the replay, and I'm sending out so much love and light to you, and I will see you all back here on Monday. Bye-bye.